Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this problem as much as I did when I first saw it. This is actually one of the problems that got me actually pretty excited about economics and stuff like that. So I'll let you take a quick glance at it. This gets back to graphs, right? So there's no numbers at all. Pretty excited about that. So the y-axis again, money, money, money. Okay, so that's good stuff. This is actually more specifically the tax revenue of a certain government. Okay. So then on this x-axis is going to be the tax rate. This is a funky letter. It looks like a T, but it's actually a tau. Gotcha. Okay, so here we go. So this is what the so-called Laffer curve looks like. Kind of looks like a cool roller coaster that I'd rather be on right now. But basically, what they mean by Laffer rate is the point, the tax rate, which maximizes the government or tax revenue. Okay, so this is this point right here, whatever that is, on the x-axis is the Laffer rate. Okay, now you might be looking at this and be like, okay, if you're a little bit astute, you might be looking at this and you're like, wait a second, why is it less than 100? I would imagine to get the most money, you would want to tax them at the maximum amount, right? Because if you tax them, if a guy's making like 300 or 200K, if you tax them at 100%, bam, that's 200K of revenue for the government, right? Not that simple though, because people are smarter than that. Okay, if they're gonna work a job, they're gonna want to at least make some money. Am I right? So this is why there's an upper bound on how high marginal tax rates should be, because let's say people. Let's say the government puts it at like 80%, right? Then people are not gonna like that tax rate, right? So they're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna work my butt off if the government is going to take like 80% of my income away, right? That would be a name to do that. So but then again, like, you don't want to have it at zero, because then the government isn't going to be making obviously any money if they have a zero, if they're not like taxing them at all. So there's like this sweet spot in between, putting it high enough to make money, but then not putting it too high so that people don't even work. That's the Laffer rate. Okay, and that's why there's an upper bound. Easy, boom. Okay, done. Now the second one, migration. This one was actually a pretty interesting. It makes you kind of get another perspective. So let me just get away with all of these. Okay, bye-bye. So here we go. So this is, I'm just going to draw what it would look like if there was no migration. Boom. Okay, so kind of like East Germany or whatever. Just kidding. Well, actually kind of not. So this is what the Laffer rate would be like. Okay, so why is that so? It's because, like, if you're a citizen of a country and you can't move, like that, this tax rate is forced upon you, right? So I mean, obviously you're gonna need to make some money to live. It might suck that it's at like 80 or 90% or whatever, but you're gonna have to work because you're gonna have to get paid somehow. Because you're gonna have to buy food, you're gonna have to buy shelter, water, all the necessities, blah blah blah. Okay, so you're kind of like forced into this Laffer rate. Okay, but if you have a country which allows migration, if you hate that 90% tax rate, then you can just migrate somewhere else, right? If the country allows you to migrate, then the countries are going to be competing against each other, which one can have the lowest tax rate so that the citizens are happy to live there. Obviously, they don't want to put it at zero, because then again, you don't make any money. The country's not going to really survive. But it's going to be lower because, again, if you don't like that 80% tax rate, or 90%, whatever it is, you can just move somewhere else. And then countries will compete. They will set a tax rate that is lower, so that they can incentivize more people to come into their country instead of leaving out. So again, how would you expect? Basically, you would expect the Laffer rate to be lower if you had if migration was possible, compared to if no migration is possible. So that's that. See you next time.